Your career path and your calling aren't always the same thing, right? So your midheaven, which is the highest point in your natal chart, reveals the work the world sees you for. But your deeper calling may express that in totally unique ways. So today we're exploring how your midheaven shows both your career direction and your potential for passive income so you can build success that's aligned and sustainable. So if you want to know more, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new around here, hi, hello, my name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and sound therapist, and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if you're new, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So today's video is all about the midheaven and what it could mean for you for passive income. Now, the midheaven, a lot of people classify it differently. A lot of people say it's your job, it's your vocation, it's your life purpose. But either way, the midheaven shows a certain trajectory in your life, especially as it relates to your financial story. And when you align with your midheaven, you're basically aligning your income. And when we talk about passive income, alignment is everything. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so first and foremost, I want you to think about and meditate on this core idea. All right, the midheaven, which is abbreviated as MC in your natal chart, is your public image, reputation, and professional destiny. It shows how you're meant to contribute to the world. And when you understand it, you can create income streams that reflect your purpose instead of working against it. So essentially, your midheaven is how you show up. It's also what you are known for. And so that really speaks a lot to purpose. And of course, when you align with it, this is when money is more likely magnetized to you. Okay. So one thing by way of sort of technical astrology and sort of where your midheaven is placed in your natal chart, it represents the highest point in your natal chart. So think of your midheaven as like the sun at noon, okay? The sun is the highest point in the sky. That's why it has a lot to do with your purpose and how you show up. Now, the midheaven can be placed anywhere between your 9th house and your 11th house. A lot of people tend to have it in their 10th house, which is the house of career, which is why people typically equate the midheaven to career. However, like me, my midheaven is placed in the 9th house. Some people, their midheaven is placed in the 11th house. And so that sort of gives it a little more flavor and information when it comes to your particular calling as expressed by your midheaven. So of course, much like anything else in your natal chart, we can delineate it or we can get information on it based off of the house it's in, the sign it's in, the element it is in. So let's begin by examining the midheaven by element, okay? And again, your midheaven sort of details how you thrive publicly. So let's say that you've got your midheaven in a fire sign, which would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So for you, you lead, you inspire, and you take risks, okay? You achieve success through visibility, teaching, or entrepreneurship. That's really important to understand, especially when it comes to purpose and even passive income, right? Visibility, teaching, doing. Fire signs are great at doing and taking action. So for you, especially when it comes to passive income, it's a lot more active than you think it is, or probably that you're led to believe that it is, okay? Now, the one thing that I will say about passive income, I think that it's kind of a misnomer because people equate passive income to not do anything. You know, if you watch a lot of YouTube videos, especially on entrepreneurship, they talk about how passive income is like making money in your sleep and, you know, all of these things. Clearly, it is passive. However, for it to become passive, it needs to be active first. So when it comes to passive income, it's about front loading work that pays you on the back end. For instance, and for me, whether you know this about me or not, I'm also an attorney, and I used to be an entertainment attorney, and I used to manage artists. And so a passive income stream would be royalties, right? You create the song up front, and then you continuously get paid on the back end for that one thing that you created. You can also think of digital products as passive income. However, you still have to put forth some effort at the beginning in order to turn it passive, or in order for it to become passive. So I definitely wanted to mention that at the outset, because it's not just being lazy and getting money, or just money effortlessly flowing into your lap. It's taking the correct action up front that leads to money passively finding its way to you over time. Okay. All right. So again, with fire signs, if you have your midheaven in a fire sign, it's about visibility, teaching, or even entrepreneurship. Now, let's say you have your midheaven in an earth sign, which would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So for you, it's all about building, it's all about systemizing and creating tangible results. Okay. When it comes to thriving, you thrive in structure, business, or long-term growth. Okay. I love to think of earth signs as planting. The seed that you plant today is not the fruit that you enjoy today. It takes time. And earth sign midheavens have a wonderful ability to do things that stand the test of time and always look toward things long term. It's not about get rich quick. It's not about this latest hustle. It's about what is tried and true and what is going to build wealth long term. I also find that earth sign midheavens are also very business structured, meaning that now, of course, there are exceptions to the rule, but what I've seen in examining natal charts is that if you have an earth sign midheaven, you're someone who is not really like a hustler. You're more so of like a CEO, where you have a business that you perhaps build from the ground up. Even if you acquire a business, you're very much enmeshed in the systems of that business, how it runs, how it operates, how it's structured. And that is how you achieve long-term growth. So it's not about like hustling and trying to get hand to mouth kind of transactions. It's about setting up a system that yields long-term growth through your business. All right. Now let's talk about if you have your midheaven in an air sign, which would be Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. All right. So this is about communication, collaboration, and connection. And in terms of thriving, you shine in media, marketing, or tech. All right. Air signs are very much concerned with ideas, communication, relating to people, publishing, writing, things of that nature. So that could very much have to do with your calling or your career, what you're known for, or what you provide to the world. Especially when we're talking about like a midheaven in Aquarius, that has a lot to do with tech, with innovation, with inventions. You may be someone who develops a patent or something like that. Like all of those things fall under air sign midheavens. And then finally, let's say that you have your midheaven in a water sign, which would be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. For you, it's about healing, it's about nurturing, intuition, and you achieve purpose through emotional intelligence, transformation, or artistry. I like to think of people who have water sign midheavens as uber creative. You are tapped into the ethers, you are tapped into your intuition and your emotions. So creativity plays a lot into your purpose, your passive income even, or just what you are known for and how you show up in the world. Now, it's important to distinguish between career and calling, okay? So what is actually the difference between your career and your calling, all right? So when it comes to career, career is like the structured external side of your purpose. So this includes things like titles, achievements, or professions. You can even lump certifications in there, right? It is sort of the 3D reality, tangible side of all of this, right? As opposed to your calling. Your calling represents the deeper why. It's the sole mission that fuels your work, whether that's teaching, healing, creating, or leading. Okay, so that's sort of the esoteric, big picture portion of this. Your career is the tangible earth side part of it. Your calling is the deeper spiritual side of it. Okay. Ideally, your career expresses your calling, not competes with it. So it's not that while they are two sides of the same coin, one doesn't cannibalize the other. They work together. Your career is your earth side expression of your calling. Oops, I just hit myself in the head. Your career is your earth side expression of your calling. I don't know why I did all these hand things, but it just felt natural to do so. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, so now let's talk about passive income potential. And this is sort of a bonus layer when it comes to examining your midheaven. So your midheaven and its ruling planet, remember, your midheaven is in a sign. Every sign has a ruling planet, and if you are interested in learning and memorizing what all of the ruling planets are, I have a free resource in the description box below that you can download for free that will tell you all of the ruling planets for all of the signs. All right, but again, your midheaven and its ruling planet can show where your work naturally scales. Okay, and this is great because, especially in today's age of entrepreneurship, it's not even just about hanging out your own shingle and starting your own business. Everyone talks about scaling. And so when you look at your midheaven plus the ruler of your midheaven, this is where you can see where things naturally scale and where you can up your passive income potential. All right. So for instance, let's say you've got Gemini or Virgo midheaven. Okay. Now both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. So when it comes to either of those midheavens, teaching, writing, digital courses, that is how you can scale. Let's say you've got Taurus or Libra as your midheaven ruled by Venus. This entails design, beauty, or luxury product lines. Let's say you've got Capricorn or Aquarius as your midheaven. Both of these are ruled by Saturn. Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus as well. All right. This involves systems, online business models, or even tech. All right. So examining not only the midheaven sign, but the ruler of that sign, thereby being the ruler of your midheaven, it can tell you how to scale and again, how to up your passive income potential. And I want to give you a quick timing tip. All right. So when Venus, Jupiter, or Saturn transit your midheaven, this is when you can experience career shifts, promotions, or opportunities to pivot your public path often arise. All right. And so these transits, when they ping and activate your midheaven, this is when things shift. Okay. You can either get rewarded, AKA Saturn. You can get more money, AKA Venus. You can get more opportunities, AKA Jupiter, in order to scale, in order to grow, or in order to really get comfortable and more acclimated to your career and how that career expresses your calling. All right, so now let's get into some quick integration tips and why this even matters. All right, so your midheaven is your cosmic North Star for career alignment. When you follow your calling, your income, whether that is active or passive, becomes a reflection of your purpose. And this goes back to what I was saying before. Your career and your calling are not two separate things. Your career is that reflection, is that it is that expression of that calling. All right. The more authentic your expression, the more sustainable your success. I love that for us. So the more you are expressing, right? The more you fall into that expression, the more sustainable your success. So your midheaven does have a lot to do with sustainability. It has a lot to do with longevity. And of course, it has a lot to do with your active and both your passive income. But alignment with it is everything, especially because oftentimes so many of us are like, what am I here to do? What is my purpose? Now, when it comes to your purpose, your midheaven is not the only thing you would look toward in your natal chart, but it is one of the things that can clue you into why you are here. Or more specifically, I think I should phrase it not as why you're here, but what you have to offer the world by way of a career, by way of your vocation, and by way of your purpose. All right. So when you align with that, there's no better feeling than not only understanding why you're here, but actually doing the thing, right? When you are on purpose, you are in alignment. And when you're in alignment, not only do things just flow to you, you feel good. And that midheaven, where it is in your natal chart and all of the information surrounding it, helps you achieve peace of mind. It helps you fall into your purpose. But most importantly, especially for the purposes of this series, it's where you can achieve sustainable success. And speaking of success, in my signature natal chart experience, the blueprint, we pinpoint your midheaven and career planets to reveal what kind of work truly aligns with your purpose, whether that's entrepreneurship, leadership, or creative expression. One of the things I love the most about your natal chart is that it can dispel a lot of the myths that we're hearing out there. Listen, I am all for entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, but I also understand that entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, nor is entrepreneurship expressed the same in everybody's natal chart. There are different ways, different modalities to come to or to go along the journey of entrepreneurship, and your specific natal chart will tell you that. So rather than just following the crowd, doing what everyone else is doing, and either not achieving results at all or achieving very little, your natal chart will definitely help you figure that out. So if you are interested in knowing more about and understanding your particular midheaven, then sign up for the blueprint. And the first step to doing that is to book a free 15-minute clarity call where we can decide whether the service is even right for you, and if so, how to get started. All right. And in Cosmic Collective, my online private community, we're unpacking this theme all week. All right. So join the discussion thread to explore your own midheaven story. Of course, and if you are interested in joining Cosmic Collective, the link to that is in the description box below. It is $11 a month. You get a free 2-week trial, and you get access to exclusive content, more information, more access to me where you can ask questions. Plus, you get access to an amazing community where everyone is learning astrology together. All right. And again, the link to that is in the description box below. All right, my love. So that's pretty much all I've got for you for this video on the midheaven and what it could tell you about sustainable success and including passive income. All right. So to recap, your midheaven shows how your soul's calling becomes your public legacy and how your chart supports aligned prosperity. All right. So don't forget to take the Abundance Archetype quiz. The link is in the description box below, and that quiz can help you uncover your natural money and purpose style. All right. Don't forget to join us over in Cosmic Collective for this week's live Q&A and the Midheaven Money Mapping discussion, which I will be doing this coming Friday. And if you're watching this at some point later in time, that recording will always be posted in the community so you can watch it whenever you like. All right. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. Every comment, share, and quiz sign up counts as an entry. All right. Winners will be announced live during my weekly live stream once we hit our subscriber milestone. So make sure you're subscribed and helping us grow this community. All right. So join us tomorrow. Well, we'll talk about astrological red flags that you shouldn't ignore when making money decisions. That's going to be a juicy one, so you definitely don't want to miss it. All right, my loves, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.